another nice cup of tea that is well needed. It tastes really nice as well, actually. I think just because of like how needed that it actually was. So, welcome back to another stream. We've not really done one of these lately because like everything has just been so manic, and yeah, I actually have had like a really interesting weekend. So we're doing another weekend antics because it's been a while. I finally had an enjoyable enough weekend to do a weekend antics where I've not like just been working. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I love working. I absolutely love it. But like sometimes the work stuff is not always like something you can really cram into a weekend antics, and sometimes like when it was the Youth Arts Festival, for example, that was a really enjoyable couple of days, but that was kind of it. That was, it wasn't like there was one thing on one day and then another thing on another day, and it was just kind of go to work the festival, and then come home, go to bed, get up the next day, and do the same thing again, which is obviously, you know, um, why it wasn't worth doing a weekend antics. But this weekend I've done like a work thing, and then I've also had an amazing night last night, which I will go on to tell you about. And now we're on to Sunday, which is just going to be a chilled one. I am live on your radio at 9 o'clock, and I will be 100% live on your radio at 9 o'clock because I feel so terrible for literally the past like month and a half, nearly 2 months. I've not been able to commit to taking your radio slots, or I've like on the Monday I thought like, yeah, I can take one next weekend, and then the weekend comes and something crops up and I'm like, I'm gonna have to drop the set. And I just want to say a big shout out to Stephen, because he's been like so understanding, because there's so many times I've like not turned up for a set, or like something's happened and I've not been able to play, and he's been like really understanding about it. So like today I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna absolutely smash a show in. I feel absolutely ready to return onto your radio. I've got like some music to play, like my own stuff, stuff that I've been playing for a while, but like I've not played it on there yet. And I've just got like some announcements I'm gonna make on the radio as well, and it's gonna be really good. So yeah, so this weekend has actually been a really enjoyable weekend, really, really enjoyable, and it's just been so fun. So we'll throw it to the beginning of the weekend. We'll throw it back to Friday, and Friday there was a big networking event on in Hull, and it was an event called Out of the Box, and it invited like literally all the organisations in Hull. So like all the charity organisations, so everything in sense that is doing something music related in Hull. So like youth centres and organisations that put on like music groups and music classes, and offer something music wise in Hull. We sort of all got together in sort of like under one roof, and we had like this really amazing music sort of network conference brought by Stuart Baxter and Claire Jury from Out of the Box, and it was a really incredible day into the night. And I was so privileged that they asked my work brand, Hull Youth Music Network, to put some artists on. So there was like a gig on the evening, which was like live music and live performance, and during the day was kind of like a big networking conference, so like presentations, people getting up and talking on stage. It was like a really, really enjoyable, interesting sort of like afternoon, and it was good to see and hear about what some of the other organisations are doing. And it was like really good to have us all like under one roof and just kind of like be in the same building, in the same room. And there were so many people, and the mad thing about it is like I fitted into so many different categories because I was there representing like Hull Youth Music Network, but then there was like some people there from like Sunflower and Gig Buddies, and I work like quite closely and volunteer quite a lot with them. So it was kind of like, oh well, so I was like ended up sort of helping them a little bit, handing some photos out. They did like a talk on stage, and it was I was sort of mentioned, he's coming round with photos, and it was kind of like, yeah, I kind of do this as well. And then there was like some people from the youth centre where I have the music studio that were at this event, and it was just, like a really enjoyable thing. So the afternoon, it was all about like live conference, live talking, live sort of just being up on stage. And there was like Q&A panels as well, where like a few people from an organisation would sit up on a panel on the stage, and they'd get asked some questions, and they'd answer the questions and stuff like that, which is what Gig Buddies and Sunflower did. And we that's when I handed out some pictures to kind of show Sunflower in action when we do a gig. And it was all about like disabilities and diversity in Hull City, and like accessing venues with a disability, and playing in a band as a disability, and a little bit about what their organisation was about, which was an amazing thing. And then, like I say, on the evening, we headed over from social, which was where the daytime sort of networking was all taking place. And we headed over to the Trinity Market, and there was like live performances during the evening, including myself and the Layman. We did a couple of our positive reggae tracks, which was really enjoyable. And what I was going to say is it was a really enjoyable night. And again, there was quite a few people from the daytime that actually stayed into the night time, and it was like really good to see. There was a few people that were like, oh, I can't make it this evening, but there was a couple of people that managed to stay, and it was like a really enjoyable thing. We all got to kind of just have a little bit of a like a laugh and a talk, and just a little bit of, there's a bit of music going on, and just have a few drinks and stuff like that, and get a bit of food if you want. And yeah, it was just really, um, just sort of really led on nicely from what was an amazing sort of like afternoon. And the thing about it is, the out of the box, they did it so well, because you can do like these music conferences, and you can do these networking things, and people kind of are interested, but they're kind of not at the same time, because they kind of think like the word networking, and they kind of think like in conferences it's kind of like a boring thing, whereas you put like a gig on and you put artists on, it kind of like it sort of like excites them a little bit more to actually want to come. If they just think it's sort of like they're attending like a meeting, and they're watching slideshows and reading bits of paper, it can put them off. But out of the box, they seem to do it so well. And they got a lot of people. The actual afternoon event, it actually sold out, so it just shows like how good it was. And it was definitely needed, a chance for, like I say, all the organisations in Hull just to get under one roof and just kind of have their say. It was an amazing thing. It was truly amazing. So yeah, so the evening, like I say, it was filled with music. I had to put back home with the Layman to grab my DJ controller, because there was a young DJ that was performing on our youth music network as part of DJ Methods, who runs like DJ Tuition, and he sadly this time couldn't supply the equipment for the event. So I kindly offered and said, look, I've got an RX available. If you'd want me to sort of bring it. And yeah, it was kind of like a little bit of a last minute thing, and I'm not gonna lie, it was like a very stressful thing, like the day before, because I don't drive or anything, and it was kind of like, well, how am I going to get it to the event when I'm coming to the afternoon thing as well? And that flight case, as I think I've said in previous streams, it's so heavy, people don't understand. Um, and I was working on the Friday morning as well because I took some time out on Thursday to do some family stuff and meet up with an auntie. And yeah, it was just kind of like how I can't cart that flight case all the way to the office, all the way to the event, and and like cart it like everywhere with me. It was one of them like where it's just too heavy. Like I couldn't have got from here to work carrying it. Like I would have had to have got some form of taxi. Would have been quite a costly thing. So luckily the layman, he luckily he came to the afternoon of the networking, and luckily he gave me a lift back home to pick the equipment up, and we grabbed just a quick bite to eat because we didn't really know what the evening was going to be at this point. We didn't know there was actually going to be food on. There was no one said like, oh, there's going to be food on, but they kept a couple of the food stalls open. Well, I think it was just like one of them, but you could get like some food and a drink and stuff like that. But I grabbed a quick pizza and he grabbed some chicken, and then I came and grabbed the controller. So it was quite funny actually because I the like the thingy, the case, like it's really heavy with the decks in, and was stood in the food place, and it was only round the corner from where I live, and the toilet was out of order. So I thought at this point I might as well just dash home and use the loo quickly. Only thing I could think of at the time. And I thought while I'm here, I might as well just bring the decks from upstairs to downstairs. So when we finish eating, I can just nip through the front door and just grab the equipment and bail it straight into the car. So I did that, and I came down with this real heavy flight case with the decks in, and I just put it sort of just so it wasn't in like people's way to trip over it, but so it was just easy enough for me to not have to go back upstairs and open my bedroom door and try and keep it open, and to bring the flight case out when we're kind of like pushed for time. So anyway, I came back after eating to grab the flight case, and everybody was like, "We want to know what's going on. What's happening? Are you moving out?" And no, I was only bringing the flight case down because I had to loan the decks for the event. But it was just quite funny. It was just a funny. Like, no, I'm not not moving out. Maybe sadly, no, I don't know, but no, it was just one of them like you know. But yeah, so the music night, it was really amazing. There was like some collective pieces, and then there was the whole youth music, and myself and Layman performed a couple of our reggae tracks, and they seemed to do really well. People seemed to really enjoy them, so that was obviously a good thing. And yeah, it just kind of went on from there really to like a really good night. And then I came home and I was absolutely shattered. I just felt like really tired. I just felt really done in. I'd been on my feet all day because what people don't realise is I actually left my house about, well, I think I left about 10 to 9 or something like that, and just sort of headed over to the work office, and I'm on my feet all day till like gone 9 o'clock at night, and by the time you get home and you get upstairs and you lift the flight case back up, it was kind of like, yeah, tiring by that point. You're ready for a cup of tea. I was slightly ready for something to eat, so I just had a little bit of toast, but it was all gravy. And then I did manage to go on the computer for a little bit, but I just kind of didn't really do too much, and then I just sort of decided, you know what, I'm gonna get myself laid into bed, and then I did that, and I had a little bit of a lay-in yesterday morning, and I kind of woke up, and I wasn't really sure what to do. I was like really torn about what to do. So I knew the layman was going to an event in Doncaster, and I was kind of like half tempted to go there, but like I kind of knew that I'd had like a really sort of like tiring week at work, like just got quite tired. So I thought, do I actually want to go there and be getting in like at the early hours? And then I thought, well, it's quite a banging lineup. I haven't really got anything else to do. But at the same time, I was thinking like, do I go and stay over at my nan's? Because they was kind of saying like, if you're at a loose end, come and stop with us at the weekend. And then I thought, well, I've got my own radio to do on Sunday. Like if I go to my nan's, I would typically stop while Monday, and I'd go back on Monday. And I just thought like, if I went, no, I've got to come back on Sunday. It just it just makes it a little bit of a waste of like going there and like going on the train just. And because I'd woke up late as well, I kind of thought it's going to be like mid to late afternoon when I get there. And then it's going to be like tomorrow evening I'm going to be coming back anyway, rather than kind of like staying till Monday. So I kind of scarpered against that one. And then I kind of thought, well, go up and visit my mum and stuff, that kind of thing. So I asked the layman. I said, is the space for for me to for me to come to the event, blah blah blah. And luckily there was space, so I decided I'm gonna hit up the event. And not been to an event for a while really, like other than the ones I'm booked at, because so many things have just been happening over the weekends that I just haven't really had time. So it was Dioxide at the Doncaster warehouse. So I decided, yeah, we're gonna go there. It was a hardcore takeover. Some good names on, and good put together event. And I decided to do that. So that was kind of like settled. I went and visited my mum for a little bit in the afternoon because I just thought like, do you know what, like, I haven't seen her for a while because I got busy with work. I hadn't seen her since Tuesday, so I thought, all right, yeah, I'll do that. So I got picked up and off I went and chilled out for a bit. I was still quite tired, I'm not gonna lie, but I sort of got myself sort of into it really as the day sort of went on, and had a bit of food, and then came back and got ready. Had a real sort of brief, quick mix on the decks because I had been on the decks really properly for a couple of days because I'd been like busy, like with work and stuff, and then I've been like sorting the grooving sounds sort of project out as well, which I might be doing a stream later on, and I'm gonna take you around and show you the whole website. So keep an eye on that. I'll either do that today, or I might do it like maybe tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure. All I am gonna say is it'll be coming like sometime soon. So just keep an eye out. So yeah, look out for that. But yeah, so I just kind of jumped on the decks, had a real little sort of quick mix, and then I had an idea in my head for a song that I wanted to start doing a remix of. So I sort of got the parts for it and had a real early play around, and didn't like where it was going at all, so I just didn't even save it. I'm going to probably have another crack at it today, and just sort of maybe try again. And then it was off to the event, and I just want to say that I had the most amazing time at this event. It was so it was so amazing. It was so enjoyable. It was I just had such a really fun time, and I saw so many people that I haven't seen for ages, and loads of people like where you been, and loads of people just like so pleased to see me, and I was like so pleased to see them as well, and it was just a really enjoyable night. It was just so good, just to meet up and just have a good time with people that you don't get to see all the time, because we all live in different cities, some live in Doncaster, some live in Sheffield, some are maybe from Leeds, some come from like Scunthorpe, Grimsby way, there's like then us like from Hull, and there's some people that are maybe from like Rotherham, and like just other bits and bobs. And it was kind of like just really good to see people that I hadn't seen for a very long time, and Had some really good like catch ups with people and had a laugh with people and just had a really enjoyable night. You know, it was just one of them sort of like, yeah, I've just really enjoyed myself. And like I say, it wasn't necessarily just for the music, it was just the fact of like being out and just having a good time and socializing. It was like that was one of the highlights of the night for me. I mean, you know, do not get me wrong. The music was absolutely belting, and I just want to say that Joe Rose, he's the guy who he's behind the event. He puts the events together. A DJ pulled out and he filled in and took the set time. And I just want to say that, like, and I'm gonna swear at this point, but did he not fucking? He fucking delivered. Like that is because you know I've seen these people play quite a few times over the sort of like past sort of a couple of years. So this year, sort of last year, you know, and I've seen them play like good sets, and I've seen them where I thought, you know, they haven't played as good as sometimes here. But Joe Rose last night, he delivered one hell of a set. He delivered probably just the mixing was just so good. The mixing was just absolutely on point. And loads of people spoke, you know, like it was at the event, like after that set, they spoke of that set, and even people like towards the end of the event was like Joe Rose smashed it tonight, and he really did. Joe Rose, you know, just absolutely killed it. Just absolutely took it to levels that it had never been taken to before. You know, he played like loads of kind of like bouncy techno, like old school stuff into some like hardcore stuff, and then sort of finished off on some like real sort of heavy gabbery Frenchcore stuff. But he just, you know, like the mixing was just on point, and he was just you could just tell like when you could saw him behind the decks, he was like proper in the zone, he was proper comfy, he was where he wanted to be at that point, and everything was just, you know, everything was right, you know, the beat matching, it was just absolutely like second to none. um, you know, but what I do want to say is like all the sets were banging. Like Mark Breeze, he played a really good hardcore set. You know, played some of his old like Breeze and Style stuff, and played some good hardcore stuff. Um, John Neal played like a bounce set into a hardcore set. Played some like old happy hardcore, and then a little bit of some like newer hardcore, and so sort of the more like UK hardcore, and then the happy hardcore, and did some like bouncy stuff. He even played the Blackout Crew's new track with Jax Jones, which was really good. Psy and Seduction played a really good B2B. Marcus was on the mic, which was really enjoyable to see as well. And then Andy Freestyle stepped up and covered in Joe Rose's original set time when Joe Rose filled in for the DJ that had obviously pulled out, and essentially played like a really good sort of hardcore sort of power stomp set. And then Kirby came on and demolished the final set, which I only saw about 10-15 minutes of that set because by that point we was leaving. Lehman had done his job. You know, he'd taken sort of all the photographs. There was just sort of the last 45 minutes. He'd got some photos of, Kirby on the final set and some of the crowd at the final set, and, just sort of was finished and sort of ready for home. And yeah, it just, but like I say, it was just a really enjoyable night. I had a laugh and spoke to so many people. Had a laugh with so many people, and too many names to mention, and I won't want to mention some people without not mentioning like other people. But one guy I do want to mention is the man like Joe Dunn. So we did our collaboration track, the baseline, and I've not really, I'll be completely honest, I've not really followed this event. Like I knew it was happening, but like just because I've had so much going on, like I didn't know if I'd be free on the day, I didn't know what was happening, so I didn't really have a clue who was going to be there, who was going, that kind of thing. And then I got there and just saw like so many people. But Joe Dunn We did our collaboration track, the baseline, and it sounds so good. It was so good to like properly see him. Like I saw him briefly at the Hull Fair and gave him a set on the waltzes, and then the collaboration track started from there. But what I was gonna say is, we haven't really like properly had that proper good chance just to have a laugh and and chill out at an event and just sort of like have a good time together. So it was like a really enjoyable vibe to see him and kind of like put a proper face to the name without kind of just like a brief sort of oh yeah, you can go on now, on the waltzers, and just a brief thank you for playing kind of thing. So it was just one of them. Really enjoyable vibes there, really enjoyable people. Met with a promoter who's booked me for his event next year, and he's told me, no, I don't want to really say like details of like, you know, stuff that I know that other people don't know, but just sort of said like his general sort of ideas with where he kind of wants to take the event and stuff, and just kind of more like how he just wants to build it up and kind of just like he kind of ideas that he wants to bring in some new talent and stuff to the events, and just that kind of stuff. And I'm looking forward to playing his event because there's like a team of them behind the event. So there's like him, and then there's like a friend of his that kind of like coincides the event, and then there's kind of like his partner, and then their daughter, and they're all like, and then there's like the actual guy who runs the event, he's got two daughters, and just the whole family are just like really, like, you couldn't sort of, in a way, like you couldn't meet like a better bunch of people. Like they come to the events and they're so happy and they're so buzzing, and they come to the other events and they support, which is like a really, like, it's a really good thing. Like if you're in the game and you're promoting and you're going out there and you're going to other events and you're sharing your support like to the other events, like you can't ask for anything better than that, because we're all kind of in the same game, and it's like it's really good, like if we can all just get along and not like coincide, like I'm gonna run a better night than you, kind of more like, we're all putting nights on, let's all support each other and come to each other's events. And I like the fact that they come and turn up, and they go to these events and they share the support, and they come in their t-shirts and hoodies that say their brand, and they don't just come and leave a few flyers and piss off back home. They actually come and like stay and enjoy the night and talk to people and have a laugh. And it was really good to talk to them. And like I say, I'm looking forward to playing their event, which the flyer is going to be coming out very soon. So I'm looking forward to it. So I can actually announce what's going on. And yeah, and me and so not the promoter, but the promoter's friend, her daughter, like me and her, we always get like an annual picture together if we like see each other at the same event. And we've built like quite a good friendship, and it's just really nice. You can go to these events, and and the mad thing about it is you can have friends that you've known for years, and someone put about this on Facebook as well, and it's like a really true thing. Like you can have like friends that you've known for years, that are not there for you, like somebody you've met a couple of times at a rave. It's like crazy. You go to a rave and you meet and you make so many friends, and then there's like people you've known for like 20 odd years, and where are they? They're not texting you, they don't check if you're all right, they don't come and support you at things, they don't come and see you at things. And then there's like a front row raver that you made friends with 2 years ago, and he's still at the front row watching your every set, and it's just absolutely crazy. People you've known for years, or you grew up with and you went to school with, like, where are they now? It's mad how you kind of go your separate ways, but then like people you just meet on a night out, like at a rave, can become so much more than just somebody at a rave. It's crazy. Absolutely. So, I'm gonna cut from this live in a minute because I actually need to go to the shop, and I don't know which shop. Um, so essentially, for whatever reason, before the event last night, I got a feeling. I just got like a little bit of a feeling, like something was telling me, take a USB stick and take your headphones just in case. I'm not one like who goes to like an event and like blags for a set and like, oh, can I go on, like, oh, is there any sets going, I brought a stick, blah blah blah. um but I just kind of, something just told me like, bring headphones, bring a stick, and just essentially, just in case. And like somebody had like literally pulled out, but they'd all obviously like already got it covered. But like, I don't know if you could just say like, Noble's got headphones and a USB stick. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not about boasting and saying like, oh, I brought them, because I always bring them to event. It was just about, if that ever moment of need came and I could just say, well, actually, I have got a USB stick with me. I could go on if you wanted me to, kind of thing. Like, just if ever it happened. And for whatever reason, I just got this feeling that it just said like, take them, and you never know, kind of thing. I didn't get to go on. I didn't need to go on. I wasn't bothered. I didn't go there as such, like thinking I was gonna get on. It was just, I don't know, something just told me like, like, just take them in case. And it was just the fact that I knew they was there if if I needed them. But I didn't, kind of thing. So it was obviously, but yeah. So sadly, me being the silly plonker that I am, I left the headphones in Lee's car, and I do it all the time, to the point where he actually texted me and said, I'm banning you from bringing headphones into my car. I do it all the time. I'll have a gig on the Friday, and and he'll pick me up on the Thursday, and we'll like go for food or something, or we'll do something together. Or he'll pick me up from work, and I'll have my headphones with me because I always take them to work. I always walk to work with my headphones. And I'll go and leave them in his car, and then I'm like, oh shit, I've left them in his car, and I've got a gig today. And then he has to like come to my house to drop them off. Like, he had to do it last Friday because I'd left them in his car, and because it was my friend's birthday, and we'd essentially just like gone for food and stuff, and we've gone to a cafe place just literally at the top of my street. And because like he parked up, there was no point in me like getting back in the car because it was right near my house, and I just totally forgot about the headphones. And then when we left the event today, my friend had actually lost their flat key for the main door, the main downstairs door. So she had to try and buzz someone to wake them up, and we was actually sat outside their flat for I think about 2 hours. I dozed off at one point, um, you know, because we left the event about 3:15, or something like that, and we went to McDonald's. We dropped somebody off and stuff like that. And by the time we've done that, like, another hour and a half's nearly passed, and then we drive back to Hull. And it was starting to sort of, coming on towards like 6 o'clock, blah blah blah. So sort of sat in the car waiting for kind of like the outcome, and then no word of a lie, by the time I got home, came in, it was actually like 10, no word of a lie, it was about 9 o'clock this morning that I actually rolled in from the night before. You're looking at a party animal here. um, and the thing is like, I don't drink or take any drugs, which is like, people say like, oh, the way you dance, like it must be on something, but like I am literally just high on like the life of the music, which is, I'm high on the life of the music, and that is like, that's it. There's nothing more to it, you know. Um, Crazy. But yeah, so anyway, so I left my headphones in his car, and I kind of don't want to hassle him to come. So I kind of just thinking at this point, I need a spare pair anyway. And obviously it's Sunday, so shops close at 4. Um, So I was just kind of thinking to myself, and it's actually 12 minutes past 3 now, so I'm going to have to like get a wiggle on. But yeah, so I just kind of thought like I need to go and see if I can buy some. So yeah, that was the weekend antics. Amazing 2 days, Friday and Saturday. Make sure to like, comment, share. Keep an eye out for more gig announcements. Keep an eye out for like grooving sounds updates and anything in general. And we'll see you soon. Yeah, I need